Sunday, hush your mouth, talking all that noise. You can hate all you want, but we still them boys. Dirty, dirty D, Texas where we stay at. Me inside in order till you know that's where we play at. Hey, this year, this the payback. Yeah, we them Cowboys, and nah, we don't play that. Work, this is Cowboy Nation. Work, welcome to Cowboy Nation. Work, y'all can keep on hate. Work.
Cowboys Nation, Cowboys Nation, Cowboys Nation. The Dallas Cowboys have lost again. It doesn't really matter, but they did get a loss. We saw a lot of what we normally see, a defense that can't stop anybody. Cavante Turpin tripping over nothing but grass. A lot of what we normally get to see. We did get to see a little bit of Joe Milton. It's a bad day when you end up with Joe Milton on the field. Although he looked a lot better, except for the fumble, obviously, that he just let the ball go at the very end. But did look a little better than he did in preseason, which is a good sign. Obviously, if you're starting to think about next year and don't want a situation where if he gets hurt for a couple of games, you're stuck with a quarterback that can't guide you to a couple of wins. So it's actually good to see Joe Milton do a little bit better. Man, you get to see Tyler Smith at tackle. That was different. I felt like I got to go back and relook at it. I got to go back and look at it, but I felt like he did his job over at tackle. That's kind of what I feel like. So I will go back and look at the film and kind of verify that. So you did get to see some things that keep you poised for next year. I'm not going to overly criticize this loss. Kind of knew that this loss was coming after watching what the Cowboys did last week. Just the inability to be able to stop anyone with a halfway decent offense. It's just they just have an inability to do that right now. And people argue with me all the time because they feel like it's a combination of players and coaching. And I feel like it's coaching and more coaching. I feel like the scheme that Eberflus put in didn't fit the players that he actually had. So, yes, you can consider it the players who aren't doing very well, and you can show plays where, man, if this person could have did that, or, even in man coverage, Trayvon Diggs was getting burnt and, yada, yada, yada. But there's still a lot more to scheme than just lining up and playing man-on-man football. And I feel like as a whole, Eberflus just didn't do a good job of that. I'm really hoping that they're getting rid of him, that he won't be here next year. If he needs a real estate agent, I got a couple I can refer to him because, it would be horrible. I feel like it would be hard to defend the boys if Jerry brings Eberflus back. It's kind of like you did so much to move in the right direction, because let's face it, I'm not going to just say Jerry, because obviously most of these decisions or all these decisions aren't his, right? But that's who gets the blame. So you got to give him the credit when it goes right. But he started in the offseason with free agency moves like a George Pickens, like a Javonte Williams, right? These are moves that were very beneficial to this team. I mean, obviously he also got one of the worst linebackers in the league, and for some reason Eberflus wanted to keep putting him on the field. Not today, but wanted to keep putting him on the field, and I think that was the kind of the death of the team, just to be honest with you. But with that being said, I mean, he made moves in the offseason. The front office did. And so you made these moves. You come up with one of the best offenses in the league. Your defense can't stick with it. So you go out in the middle of the season and grab another, linebacker, because you knew yours was bad. You end up grabbing another defensive tackle, one of the best in the games, to go along with the one that you got from the Michael Parsons trade and Kenny Clark. And you do a little bit to improve, but you still have the same problem in coaching and you can't improve. So to me, if you make an attempt to go out and get better players and then assume that Eberflus would be able to do something better with those players, I think that is a horrible mistake. I think that is a mistake that would be hard to defend. I think that's a mistake that would be hard for Cowboys fans to even live with, because it's almost like immediately you have no hope for the next year, because next year you would have much of the same as you would this year. He's shown that he wouldn't want to change. He wouldn't even change the worst linebacker in the league. Like, I would have rather, if we're just going to have bad linebacker play, we could have done that with some of our young guys. Let's see if some of these young guys can maybe choose what hole to fill like better. Like, can you at least see what hole you need to fill as a middle linebacker? That's what I would assume you would do. But he wouldn't do it. He wanted to stick with his guns and believe in his system, but his system doesn't work. And I'll even go as far as giving him the favor of saying his system doesn't work with these players. Maybe if he had an opportunity to build his own players, it would be okay. But he came to a team that already had some players. Now, I'm not saying they were the best defense, but they definitely were not the worst defense in the league. And what we ended up with pretty much just a defensive coordinator change, because a lot of everything else was the same. I mean, we had a lot of injuries. We had injuries. We did. But still, and no Micah Parsons, and I'm sure he was looking for Micah Parsons, but the inability to change is what I'm talking about, right? He didn't make adjustments. Like, I would see the Cowboys offense start off slow, and then watch Schottenheimer make adjustments to just make a better game plan moving further on in the half. Not only did I not see that quarter by quarter and half by half, we never even saw it game by game. We literally saw the exact same mistakes over and over and over again. And the one time, I don't even remember what game this is now, the one time that he came up with a game plan and it looked good against a quarterback, they were like, yeah, that was just that particular quarterback we felt like that would be good on. We're going to go back to doing the stuff that doesn't work for all the other quarterbacks. I just think that's crazy. I think that's horrible. So again, keeping him would be, in my opinion, one of the worst things that you could do. It would literally sabotage the entire next year, make it very difficult for fans to kind of get behind this team, right? So I still believe that's one of the first things. I see they moved him from, on the sidelines to up in the booth. I think you just keep moving him farther and farther and farther out, and Cowboys fans will be happy. So once again, the Dallas Cowboys lost to the Los Angeles Chargers 34-17. I mean, winning wouldn't have done much of nothing. The goal at this point was just being able to see some things. And like I said, we got to see Tyler Smith at tackle. I know that was one of the things we were talking about in the offseason. We, started looking at, even being able to see James at linebacker with Overshawn being out. Just different little stuff like that. You got to see Logan on the field a little bit more, especially in the second half. We got to see some things that we would want to see, but, in thinking about next year, the first thing we need to do is get rid of our defense coordinator. I'm not really positive if he should even make it for the rest of the year. I think it would seem like, okay, look, we just got kicked out the playoffs yesterday. So you're able to make a change this week. And I feel like that this week is a great time to get rid of Eberflus. Spend 2 weeks and just see if there's, you're not going to get a new scheme with 2 weeks left in a season that doesn't mean anything, right? I can understand that. So you're probably going to get much of the same from anybody that you would let just kind of step up and be an interim defensive coordinator. But you might get a chance to see them from a coaching standpoint, just their preparation of the game, some of the things that they do. You're not, in my opinion, going to get a much better defense because you're going to be using the same scheme. but the preparation and different things like that that will help Schottenheimer maybe make a decision on somebody that's already in house over bringing in like an Al Harris or somebody from the outside. So I don't know. It's just something to talk about. I think that that would be a good situation to actually look at getting rid of Eberflus this week and not waiting on those 2 weeks to be over with. I do want to give a shout out to Marblism. That is our new sponsor for Defending the Boys. They are specifically going to be sponsoring our AI predictions. The quantum neuro edge predictions are now 4 and 2, doing a very good job. And then that segment is going to be brought to you by Marblism. Marblism is a AI employee website that allows you as an entrepreneur to be able to have 5 to 6 people working for you, right? So you're talking about people that can create social media posts and post them for you when you want them to. AI people who can answer the phones for you if you have inbound phone calls and need somebody to answer questions and give general information out. You have AI people who can write blogs for you if you have a blog or email blast that would go out. And these people all work 24 hours. You can literally wake up in the morning, have a meeting with your 5 or 6 AI employees, and then go off and do the things that you do and know that your business, the marketing, the promotions, the answering of phones and all that is going to be done by your AI employees. You can go out and do the things that you really love to do, not necessarily the things that you do not. So if you're looking for AI employees that you can use for under $50 a month, you're talking about hiring 6 people for under $50 a month, go ahead and click the link for Marblism. It's in the description, and I promise you it will change the way you do business. All right, this is Defending the Boys. I am your boy D Will. We'll see you guys later on this week when we have Quantum Neuro Edge talking about our predictions for next week, sponsored by Marblism. I'm out.